Warning: the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mouthing Off with Four Sides. Viewer discretion is advised.
I don't know where a question a week. Let's go into my guy, Mike. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, founder? How's it been, dude?
Been really good. It's been a minute since we've done something, and here we are.
It's been quite some time. I think the last time you guys had the honor of having me on your show, just about a month or so ago, we talked some graps. We yapped about the graps, but this is the first time I think we've done a true collab episode with Mouthing Off with Four Sides. I'm excited, dude.
I'm excited as well. We got a lot to talk about, but let's do this. I don't know where question of the week. My guy, when you were a young kid, someone told you 4 hours of wrestling in the summertime on a Wednesday night. How excited would you have been?
I probably would have been ecstatic, and I'm sure I probably would have hit up my buddies and we're like, let's kick it at someone's house and let's watch 4 hours of wrestling on a Wednesday night in the summer. But I also probably would have been made fun of just mercilessly because it's the summer and doing as what kids would do in the summer. I probably would have been on some sort of random excursion. So I guess it's the wrestling kid in me would have been ecstatic, but I feel like the real kid in me probably would have went out with his buddies and rode bikes or something outside or been playing a little league game. So yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I feel 4 hours of wrestling.
Do you feel the same way as a content creator for wrestling now? That you get a 4 hour televised show?
Nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not on a Wednesday night. We were just talking about it off the air, man. We got jobs, we got families. In the words of Heath Slater, you got kids. I don't. You got kids.
That's facts.
So 4 hours on a Wednesday night as an adult, I put quotations on that adult part for yourselves, but it was tough this week, man. I'm coming home. I'm driving home. I'm sitting there trying to listen to the show through the speakers in my car and rush hour traffic and trying to turn it on as soon as I walk in the house just so I can watch it so I know what we're talking about. So yeah, it's tough, man. 4 hours. I hope AEW doesn't do that anytime soon again.
No, dude, I feel that 100%. I was just like, man, 4 hours. I got to get up at 5:30 in the morning. This is gonna finish at like 12:45, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's cool. And I thought about, maybe if I was a kid, this would have been awesome too. But I'm just like you in the summertime. I'm probably gonna be out hanging out with my friends and just use the internet to catch up. But hey, everybody, we got inspired by Worlds Collide, so Mike and I got together to give you our Worlds Collide in Mouthing Off with Four Sides. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to talk some Ron Killings. We're going to talk Gunther. We're going to talk about this big 51 days of Jey Uso. And we'll recap a little bit of SmackDown and give you a little bit of a nightcap. But before we start anything, let's go ahead and start our show.
Let's start our show, boys.
Four sides of the ring. Four sides of the ring. Everybody out here got an opinion. Your ego shall die in the ring. If the debate's getting heated, we hear you know it's been fire in the ring. We them guys in the ring. Leave with your pride in the sling. Four sides of the ring. Four sides of the ring. Everybody out here got an opinion. Your ego shall die in the ring. If the debate's getting heated, we hear you know it's been fire in the ring. We them guys in the ring. Leave with your pride in the sling. Four sides of the ring.
That was awesome.
That was pretty sick.
That was awesome. Shout out to Mike for coming up with that real quick, slapping it together and just stitching up some stuff right there. Look at that.
You gotta show the people, what we're capable of here. They hate us because they ain't us. They doubt us because they don't know us. So we gotta put ourselves on the map here. No one's making room for us. We're gonna make room at the table for four sides of the ring and mouthing off with Mike, baby.
That's facts, 100%, 100%. Mouthing off of four sides. Official.
That's it. It's official, baby. Mouthing off the four sides. We get your merch here, exclusive. By the end of the show, there'll be a special link when you go to the WWE shows. It looks like it is really a mouthing off with four sides episode because the Dean has arrived. The Dean, Chano, the whoever. I don't know what happened here.
He's under a rock. It's been a minute since I've seen him too.
My man is in a cave somewhere. Oh, there he is.
Fucking bocce.
It's like real life.
It's mad funny. I was so caught up watching Dune 2. I told Marcus, I'm like, yo, text me when you need me. Fucking, I'm watching Dune 2. And fucking, I see the text 10 minutes later. I'm like, fuck.
My man, what the hell is going on?
Excuse my shenanigans. Your boys at work and the bat signal went out.
No, man. Hey, you haven't been on a regular episode of Four Sides, so you gotta let everybody know what's going on. Where have you been? How's living underground?
It sucks. So if you don't know, your boy's been at work every day doing 12, 14, 16, 18s. Basically whatever they can throw at your boy, because if I don't do it, who will? If not me, then who? Yeah, so your boy's at work right now. I was like, yeah, we started at 11. I was like, if I'm still here. And lo and behold, your boy is still here. It's honestly fucking insane.
My man said, who but WB Mason? No. Who but Chano Hayes, dog? That's who it is. It's who but Chano Hayes.
It's nuts, man.
When people ask, they're like,
should be illegal.
When you see those things, it's like sit down with John Cena. I'm like, no, I want to sit down with Chana. That guy makes the money.
Yeah, that guy's bringing in the coals, dude. I heard Chano's taking sugar baby application, so I applied. This past week, I heard he was working triple shifts, and I said, hold on a sec, my man's working the triple OT per day. I better make sure I put my Christmas list and I send it over to Chano Claus, so I make sure that I get a little cut of that action, just to make sure.
Listen, man, the naughty and nice list is definitely going out because we are in June.
Yo, we're there.
At least you know what month you're in.
Bro, at the bare minimum, bro. I had to stop drinking Red Bull because I started getting crazy anxiety attacks. And crazy anxiety attacks don't mix well with crazy depressive episodes while you're in the middle of a 16-hour shift. Because I'm here dolo, you know what I mean? I'm here by myself. I really got nobody else to communicate with. It's like a dark circle. And then I'm just bullshitting when everybody else I'm fine, but I'm not. Your boy's going through it. So the anxiety from the Red Bulls and depression because I haven't been home in 3 months.
My God.
When you get out at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're not watching Dune, you're just actually walking the streets of New York. Just tell yourself it's real life.
Yeah. Bro, it's insanity. I watch wrestling through clips now on Twitter. That's how I watch wrestling.
Channel's trying to pull doubles to pay for that ringside seat at SummerSlam.
Listen, there's not enough overtime in the world for me to pull that off.
Much love, Sean.
Hey, much love, Sean. Well, Chance, since you've been gone, bro, I don't know if you noticed, or if you've been keeping up wrestling, but now we got 4 hours on regular weekly television, thanks to your boy TK on AEW.
Listen, has there been collisions or no? There hasn't been collisions in a minute.
I think Collision retired a few months back.
Okay, so that's what my man's being a sick ass individual, putting 4 hours of wrestling on a Wednesday. I love it.
Nah, Collision hasn't retired a few months back. I don't know what's going on, but it's Stanley not on Cups. Saturdays.
Stanley Cup.
That's what it is. Stanley Cup. See, Tony
NHL, baby.
That's fair. I mean?
Play second fiddle, you play second fiddle, you get 4 hours of wrestling. You know what I mean? He did it for the NBA. He said, you know what? We're gonna throw
NBA. What's the NBA? What's that?
There's no NBA.
It
doesn't exist.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't exist.
You're right. There's no NBA. You fellas get a chance to catch Worlds Collide this past week?
I did. luckily for me, it was easy for me to throw it on and because my son loves YouTube at the moment because he gets to watch all the TV shows that we can't find regularly. And I was like, yeah, baby, this is on YouTube. He was like, wrestling's on YouTube? I was like, yeah. And then, so we're a Mr. Iguana household now. He's the new world champion in our eyes. It doesn't.
That's all I needed to hear.
It doesn't take much to win wrestling fans over. You know what I mean? Just give me a man with a puppet iguana, and I'm sold. That's all I need.
Do we have to call it a puppet?
Nah, that's Layeska, dog. That's a real iguana. That is our iguana king.
Let's not be Corey Graves. You know what I mean?
The fucking Layeska.
The man's super over. It's kind of crazy how it's not crazy how over he got because the gimmick is fantastic. The gimmick is great.
10 out of 10. No notes.
No notes. 10 out of 10.
Could you imagine a triple threat match where from Mick Foley, Santino Marella, and Mr. Iguana?
Nah. Give me a fatal 4-way. I'm gonna up the ante here, like we're in Vegas. Give me Mr. Iguana. Give me Joe Hendry. Give me Danhausen, and give me Santino Marella, just so I can hear Santino Marella call everybody different names. The House Dan House, and he called Joe Hendry. He says, and Mr. Iguana would be like the Iguana Man or something, and it'd be ridiculous.
With Danhausen's contract coming up, you could have Dan Guana.
Dude, we could have it all. We could have the funniest NXT possibly ever with Dan Housen in NXT. I'd be all for it, dude.
Did you imagine a puppet iguana taking bumps though? Would that have ever been on WWE television if it wasn't for this like crossover?
No.
It's too silly.
But I mean, wait a minute here. Well, no, the Cobra. If we're gonna talk about Santino, the Cobra, I'm pretty sure someone's taken the Cobra off Santino's arm and like dropped an elbow on it. Never saw a Spanish Fly on the fucking thing, but I think I mean, but I do agree. I don't think we would have ever seen that. Tonight we got mouthing off with 4 sides. Monday we can get the 4 sides of nightcaps, the mouthing off mojito, the Chano Cosmo, the Marcus Martini, the Savage Sangria, and nips with Nitram. So we're branching out here.
No, tell you, my next one is gonna be drinking with Chano.
Drinking with Chano?
Drinking with Chano while he talks wrestling.
He's gonna get this man as much booze as he can possibly consume after how much he's been working.
It's gonna be drinking with Chano as he goes through applications for Hate You. Nobody's getting in. It's over.
No one's getting in. You're done. You're finished. You thought you were a hater? You can't even touch Chano Hayes. Chano hates. Oh man, it's gonna be even. His hate meter is gonna be even larger after this week.
100% to be fantastic. We had Money in the Bank Saturday too. Did you enjoy Money in the Bank?
I like Money in the Bank, man. I feel like a lot of people were super critical of it. I mean, obviously, everyone's pick didn't win the men's Money in the Bank, but I thought Naomi was a great decision. I thought it was the only decision at this point is to have Naomi with this briefcase.
Agreed. Naomi was the perfect pick. The men's was like all over the place. It's kind of one of those things you don't want to say to yourself like, damn, Seth Rollins is going to win this. He's going to win the Money in the Bank because I feel like we all knew it. But I felt like they all did. I felt like that was the one match where everybody did a good chance. Like, oh, that person could win it. You know what I mean? Everyone had their moment. Like Penta had it. El Grande Americano had it. I thought he was really going to do it when he did the ladder spot. I was like, that's his spot. He's gonna have it. Solo, the turn with Solo was great. That was just fantastic.
I have one critique though.
Chano probably cried on it a little bit because I know Solo's his guy.
Solo's been better since he started going to that comedy route, like the comedian route. He has impeccable comedic timing, and he's been amazing. Like I'm glad they gave him a personality outside of just being like Roman's body double and then trying to be Roman.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's great. Like, man, he's actually really funny. Like, I love all the spots that he does. Like, when he's falling off of anything, and then he does the sign of the cross, he throws the ones up, and he takes the bump. He's great.
He's
He's
hitting
perfect.
Penta's strut in the ring and shit.
He tried to get the fist bump to it from Andrade. He tried.
Oh my god. I honestly Solo for me, Solo underrated performance in that Money in the Bank ladder match, man. But I would say critique with Jacob, man. For months we heard him say, I love you, Solo. I love you, Solo. But all he says is, I hate you.
To be fair,
he didn't emphasize that I hate you, Solo. Like that's what I that's a personal thing. Like that's nitpicking.
to be honest, I think they thought that that the crowd was gonna carry the Solo end. You know what I mean? Because you think about how fire it would have been. Every single time, I love you, and everybody goes along with him. He's like, I hate you, and the crowd just picks up and goes Solo. I think that's what they were aiming for, but the crowd dropped the ball on that one. Other than that,
we don't hate Solo no more.
Nah, we love Solo. Listen, all the 5-2s, all the 5-2s on the Wild Boys, love them. Great.
Mm-hmm. And there was a new one debuted on Main Event too. So
that's not a 5-2 on a why. That's like Theo Haku. You know what I mean?
It's all the same. It's all the same bloodline. You know, it all comes from the same tree.
Yeah, someone get that tree pulled up.
You want to fuck the bloodline? You have 4 bodies of water surrounding you. Are you on an island? Near someone near the Pacific.
Hey, you! Did you grow up on an island surrounded by 4 bodies of water? Do you have some sort of athletic background? And do you have muscles? Well, then guess what? We've got the job for you. Come on down to the World Wrestling Entertainment. We're hiring all the Islanders. And we're going to say you're from the Isle of Samoa.
Yep. Except Samoa Joe.
Except Samoa Joe. He's from Huntington Beach.
I'll tell you
why would you put Samoan in your name, you idiot?
I'll tell you what, though. If Samoa Joe was to ever come back to WWE for whatever reason, he would 1,000% be part of the bloodline.
No, I don't think he would, bro. I don't think he would. 1,000% he would not.
Listen, 1,000%. So whenever they do SmackDown versus the bloodline, it's all 55 members of the bloodline versus the SmackDown roster. You know what I mean?
Versus Cody Rhodes.
Bro, you can do it. You can do a brand versus brand match with the bloodline versus another brand. Like, you have everybody that you need. You have the women's division down pack. You know what I mean? You have Nia Jax and Trinity already solid. You could put in Dwayne's daughter. I keep forgetting her name. Like, if you
Ava?
The general manager.
Holy shit! It's the easiest goddamn name you could ever have. It goes front and backwards. You can fuck it up. You can fuck it up, and you'd still be right.
To be fair, I haven't seen NXT in months.
That's right. You've been working.
That's right. He's under a rock. Call him Patrick.
I put on NXT the other day for like 15 minutes because I saw a thing that Mr. Iguana was going to be there. I didn't see him in the next 15 minutes, and I shut it off.
He was in the crowd.
Yo, if you follow the Lucha blog on social media, he's like the go-to like Lucha guy. Like I've followed him even before I had a podcast to keep up with, AAA and CMLL and all that stuff. He said it took them like planes, trains, and fucking automobiles through the power of transportation gods themselves to get Mr. Iguana to NXT on Tuesday just for that 10-second video in the crowd. So that WWE dude, they found their next meme wrestler, and they are putting the rocket to this Mr. Iguana, which I think is great because this guy is gonna be so over pretty soon that they're gonna get those iguana plushes in the store. $100 get you an iguana plush, get you the mask, get you the bodysuit. They're gonna merch this guy the fuck out, dog. They're gonna sell Mr. Iguana underwear, mask, the iguana itself. Shit.
Could you imagine fucking WWE teams up with Petco to start selling iguanas?
Wouldn't be
great.
surprised. There's
Indeed.
room on that canvas. You could fit a Petco logo. It'll fit perfectly in between the Slim Jim, the Riyadh, the Real American Beer logo, the Slim Jim logo.
Imagine all those people. Imagine all the people too that told him he wasn't gonna make it.
To be honest, they probably never thought they were, because these guys have been wrestling for a while. It's not like these guys are brand new wrestlers, only on the
100%.
scene for like 6 months. These guys have been putting in pain for years. And say whatever you want about. Listen,
that man's been trying to put an iguana over for 30 years. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Exactly. For this about to be Mr. Iguana Jr. Like, say what you want about the Fed. Like, if you hate WWE and you only love AEW, like, say that at the very least, there are now more eyes on wrestling outside of WWE and AEW. There was people who never thought, who like CMLL, AAA, what the hell is that? What is an Octagon Junior, and why is him and Penta shapes? You know what I mean? Like, why do the Mexicans love their shapes? You know what I mean? Like, there's just more eyes on wrestling. It's super dope, because now you get Mr. Iguana, and I love him. He's great.
He's fantastic, dude.
He is good. He is good. You know who's also good is we got your boy Chance. I know you were tweeting it out. We want truth. And your boy Ron Killings is back.
Oh, he is back. Honestly, I'm glad he cut them dreads off, because they were hanging on to nothing. I've been staring at them dreads. I've been staring at them dreads for months now. I'm like, truth, let it go. Go home, bro. Just cut them shits off. Because it's like,
dude.
You're gonna get blocked.
How am I gonna get? Listen,
he's been blocking everybody that's been hating on the cutting the dreads, bro.
No. I'm not hating on cutting the dreads. I'm just saying, like, if you look at the rest of his scalp, there's not a lot of hair there. You know what I mean? So for him to have those 3 pieces of dread where he had them was crazy to me. Listen, I love Truth. I'm glad he's going on a serious role, but let's keep it funky. I'm glad my man's cut them braids off.
No, his hair looked good tonight on SmackDown. I mean, his head looked good tonight on SmackDown.
Yeah, because he shaped it up, and it looks great. Like, we're forgetting, like, when Truth got cut, I wasn't mad at him. Like, yeah, Truth is a 50-year-old man. Like, I'm not too upset. I'm not too upset about it. Like, I am hella ageist. I'm not afraid to admit it. He's a 50-something-year-old man. He can still go in the ring, goddammit. But this is a man that should be with his grandchildren.
Come on, man.
But I am glad he's back, though. You should have seen me in the group chat. I was like, "Fuck it, Roman's coming back. Roman's coming out. Sever's doing all this." I was fantasy booking my ass off until fucking. I was like, oh shit, R-Truth is back. Okay.
That's how R-Truth came back.
Ron Killings.
Listen, I gotta say, when I was at Raw this past Monday, and obviously we saw the return of everyone's favorite, Bailey, obviously, and then all of a sudden I look over and I see this dude run through the crowd, and I'm like, oh, that's R-Truth, okay, and then we're watching this unfold, right? We're all kind of, obviously in the crowd, we're all reacting right then and there. And I'm like, and I see on the video screen, like, him pull, like, couldn't see what he pulled out of his hand. And I looked up and I saw the screen, and it was scissors. And my immediate thought was like, holy shit, he's going to stab someone. I thought, all right. My mind.
You see what AEW has done to the world?
See what AEW has fucking done to my brain? I was like, oh shit, he's got the scissors. Wade in his chair scooted back ever so slightly when he saw those bad boys come out. He said, oh shit, not today, not me. Backed up because he's like, I'm from the UK. I know what kind of stabbings we got going on over here. Said, not today. And I was like, oh, he's going to stab John Cena. Like, he's going to go backstage and stab Cena like, Ricochet was doing with the scissors. Then he cut off his dreads, and I was even more disgruntled and just like out of like my mind. I was like, holy shit, my man just cut his dreads off, the most iconic piece of, R-Truth outside of, the comedy, that's how you recognize Truth, right? So it was honestly, I was pretty shocked, man. The crowd definitely shocked me, man. That like the crowd was shocked. I was shocked. Truth shocked me, but I'm happy he's back, man. Unlike Chano, Yeah,
No.
Chano. Unlike you, R-Truth deserved to finish his career in WWE, whether that's
Listen,
for one more year
I'm
or
not
what.
mad at it. Listen, I'm glad he gets to go out the way he wants
Dude,
to.
you seem mad at it.
No, listen, I'm not mad at it. You over here rather murdered than the dreads coming off. You know what I mean?
You seem Nitram PCO mad about it.
Oh yeah, oh my god, I got Nick Ram heated when PCO got cut. Oh my god. Like he was going through in the group chat for weeks, and I was just like, yeah, he's a 50-year-old man. What do you want? He was like, he's a legend. I was like, who cares? He's washed.
Yo, that's crazy. Oh, we got Kenneth in the building. I'm a new subscriber.
Here.
Who do y'all see winning out of Uso, Reed, Sheamus, Rusev? Winner gets Rhodes.
All right, so my money's on LA Knight screwing over Bronson Reed, right? That's where my money's at. Rusev, I have yet to see, you know what's mad funny? Even when I was watching wrestling, I still have yet to see a Rusev match or segment. Haven't seen nothing from this man. Sheamus, nah. It's probably be Cody versus Jay in the semis. That's where my money's at. You know, friends. One thing leads to another. Friends.
Yeah. I kind of see the same. I kind of see the same way too. LA Knight distracting Reed. You got Sheamus and Rusev already kind of doing their little storyline. So I'd imagine that goes somewhere. So yeah, Jay's just the right choice for this match.
Yeah. I mean,
the real question is
one word, 4 letters. Yeah. It's Jay.
Yeah.
It's Jay Cody.
I'll be doing that randomly at work. I'm not gonna hold you.
You want to know what I did? I'm gonna tell you. Ready for my story? The other day, I'm sitting here in the office. It's Tuesday. I'm sitting there, and no one's around me, and I'm just kind of thinking. I was thinking about Braun Breaker when he left the room on Raw, and he just started barking. You know. So I'm sitting there, and I was like, and I'm talking to myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna start barking. You know, I'm just gonna go for it. You know, Braun Breaker. So I start right there. Will you believe it? One of my coworkers walked around the corner. We made eye contact mid bark. She started tearing up, started crying, just straight crying. She laughed so hard at me, just barking to myself in my cubicle.
Yo, my favorite thing, they made a video of somebody ringing the doorbell and he's just barking.
Listen, that's how I used to embarrass Mrs. MOWM. We'd be like walking through Target and be dead quiet, and I'd just go start barking. She turned mad red. You know, people, where's that dog coming from? It's just me barking.
Listen, if you're not embarrassing a significant other, do you really have a significant other?
Exactly, dog. I embarrassed the shit out of her. I'm not even gonna get into what I did to her the one day at the ball game, bro. I'll tell you that one off the air. People in here judge me for that one.
When we have that the after darks mouthing off with Mike.
Yeah. When we do the what did Mark say earlier? The 4 sides of nightcaps. There we go. The 4 sides of the 4 sides of the nightstand.
The 4 sides of the nightstand. It's better than my idea earlier. It was like
it's right after drinking with Chana. We get into the 4 sides of nightcaps. It's just Mike and Chance telling stories, drunk stories all night.
Oh,
listen,
this is fucking entertaining.
Listen, this wouldn't be a collab episode on a night/nightcap if I don't wild at least once. So my initial idea for today's episode was trying to go live from a glory hole, but Marcus wasn't having any of it.
So what you're telling me is you know where there's one of those at, and you frequent it.
No, I definitely don't. You know, it's actually mad funny. I Googled it one time. I was like, niggas talk about there's always like a glory hole around. Let me see if there's one actually around. And I don't know where it is. There's like a website, find your nearest glory hole in a year. Type in your zip code. But who's over here marking it on a map?
We brought up Jey Uso. Let's talk Jey Uso. Was his 51 days enough for a title reign?
No, I'm not going to tangent. No, I'm not going to tangent.
Yes, it was.
I'm not going
fine.
I'm not going on a fucking tangent because if they gave Gunther the strap just to face Bill fucking Goldberg at Saturday Night Main Event to go head to head with All In, that is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Don't give me 51 days. Listen, 51 days is Jey Uso fine. I wish they would have given him another title defense successfully instead of Logan Paul. You know what I mean? And I would have been more than fine with it. 51 days, it doesn't feel like a WrestleMania window. Because what Royal Rumble winner wins at WrestleMania has a less title often win. Title reign, a less often title reign than 51 days. They usually hold the strap for a while, you know what I mean? Because that's the signaling and changing of the guard. So Mike, can you think of somebody who was shorter?
There's been plenty
that won the Royal Rumble to win at WrestleMania. That's how the belt shorter than 51 days.
Well, I mean, we have to go to our resident statistician that'd be booking like a mark for this one. I'm sure he'd give us a name, but I'd assume that there certainly has been a few. I mean, we've seen, like, obviously we all know your boy here, big Jeff Hardy fan. Jeff Hardy only held the title for 40 something odd days.
Yes, but I'm talking about winning a Royal Rumble to win at Mania. Because when you win at Mania, it's the changing of a guard. You know what I mean?
Well, what about I don't know, because Yokozuna lost the title in. No, I was going to say Yokozuna, but Yokozuna didn't win that year's Rumble. I don't even think the Rumble was a thing at that point.
Why do you think the 51 days was enough, though, Mike?
I think it was exactly what it needed to be. It was we all knew. I mean, you knew it. Chano knew it. The viewers watching this knew it. People who watch wrestling knew it. There was going to be a transitional period for the World Heavyweight Championship, and I even said it once Gunther dropped the title the first time, that this title is going to play hot potato throughout the summer, because they're going to clearly, unless they pull something wild out at Night of Champions with Cena and Punk, but Cena's going to hold that title to the day he retires, and he may even take it with him, as he's alluded to these last few months. The World Heavyweight title is going to be the only main world title that's going to be on television at that point or after that point. So I always felt that it was going to hop around. I figured Jey would get his moment at WrestleMania. He would drop the title. I thought he was going to drop the title to Seth after. It's still probably going to happen, but they're going to give Gunther the rub of having a 2-time World Heavyweight Championship next to his name, being the 2-time champ. So I'm fine with 51 days because it accomplished what it needed to do. It needed to, one, give Jey Uso his moment that he's been waiting for 15 fucking years. 2, give the world title to somebody other than Gunther and Seth and Priest. Get another name on that lineage. And it sets us up with an interesting, Gunther's now a 2-time world champion. Seth has the Money in the Bank briefcase. And we have all these other rumors swirling of Oldberg and all these other things. So it gives us an opportunity to maybe see some different championship matches. And it gave Jey the fact, and it legitimized Jey that he could be a singles guy. We know him as a tag specialist, but it legitimized him.
The reason why I disagree with the Gunther taking a strap, listen, for me, Gunther doesn't have a personality outside of being the champion, right? Even when he lost at Mania, who did he feud with? Pat McAfee in an ass whooping on Backlash. You know what I mean? Or Saturday Main Event, whenever the hell it was. Who is Gunther without the strap? I feel like you've seen one Gunther title reign, you've seen them all. You know what I mean? He held the Intercontinental Championship for God knows how long.
666 days.
My man's had a child. He was gone for a couple weeks, did his thing, came back, did his King of the Ring matches, gone for a little while, came back, SummerSlam, won the World Heavyweight Championship on weekly television, lost it again at Mania, feuded with Pat McAfee, gone for a couple of weeks, came back to promote his title feud, won the world title. What's next? You know what I mean? It's the same. It's rinse, wash, repeat. And it's like the only thing that's keeping it somewhat interesting is the fact that Seth does have the Money in the Bank. But even then, a heel-on-heel crime is crazy. And I can't imagine Gunther being somebody for the people.
No.
You know what I mean? Imagine Gunther deserves, you know what? I called you guys terrible people and you guys broke and poor, but I don't mean that. I love you guys.
For me, it's like, I do agree with Mike. I think we all knew Jey was going to be a transitional champion. but I also agree with Chino. I don't think 51 days was enough because for me, I don't think anything builds more interest than Jey Gunther SummerSlam night 1 or night 2, whichever one you want to main event it. Because right now it doesn't seem like we'll be getting John Cena due to the fact that he's doing the Saudi show.
Mm.
So, and if we do get Cena, it's a tag team match because lately that's what they've been doing.
I don't agree with that. It's the second biggest show of the year in New York. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you not have Cena at Summer? If you have Cena at SummerSlam, then you skip them the next like 2 PLEs. Cool.
You think Cena's going Night of Champions and SummerSlam back to back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's SummerSlam. We're not talking about bad blood. We're talking about SummerSlam, the second biggest show of the year. It's 2 nights.
Why you hate on bad
Yeah,
blood?
we won't see Cena. We won't see Cena in July at all. We'll see Cena in August for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like exactly my point. Like it's 2 nights. SummerSlam is 2 nights now. Cody Rhodes is probably a headliner for night 1 if he's not facing John Cena at SummerSlam. But Cena's enough to fill up the rest of those seats for one of those nights as your headliner. Did he win the Rumble though? Did he win the Rumble and then Mania?
That wasn't the year he won the Rumble. That was when Batista won the Rumble.
That was, yeah, I was gonna say
and that's when he sneaked into the main. That's when he sneaked into the title match, right? Yeah. I'm talking about purely winning the Rumble and then winning at WrestleMania.
I'm sure we could look at it, and I would probably put my bottom dollar that there's one of the women probably won the Rumble, won the title, dropped it shortly thereafter to a Money in the Bank cash. And I'm sure that's a stat out there. Maybe not on the men's side, but I'm sure the women have one. But no, Mark's right here. The saving grace for Jey losing the strap is that the storyline was about how beaten up he was. That was the point. He was beaten up. He was way beaten up.
But see, I'm not mad. Go ahead, Mark. Go on.
But yeah, back to my point. It's just like for the World Heavyweight title right now, it doesn't even. We all know that Seth is interested, but right now, it seems like he could also cash in on John Cena. Right, he's playing both sides. It could be either or, and he does that very well, especially with Paul Heyman. What build can you have for Gunther if Jay's not involved in that title to SummerSlam? If it's Goldberg, that's not the right direction.
Nah.
For SummerSlam, unfortunately, I think fucking like Mark said it best. I think it was him or Rick. There was like the story's gonna be Sammy. It's the same story's gonna be Sammy at SummerSlam with Gunther. He's gonna win the strap, and then Seth's gonna cash in at that moment, which is terrible for Sammy, by the way. My man's is literally gonna hold the strap up for like 15 seconds, and they're just gonna violate his life.
Yep.
Anyway, so
now see, but that's the other thing. Karrion Kross is lurking for Sami Zayn. So could Sami Zayn even pull it out at Night of Champions? Could Karrion Kross screw Sami Zayn at Night of Champions? Distract him long enough for Randy to hit an RKO and pin him?
I don't want to see Randy versus Gunther again. I'm not going to hold you. I'm going to sound ageist. I'm going to sound ageist as hell, but I kind of don't want to see Randy like really wrestle like that. You know what I mean? My man's is like 290, stiff as a board, like super brolic. You know what I mean? Like his muscles aren't meant for like wrestling anymore. You know what I mean? He's just a massive human being.
This man Chance gets any chance to hate on the old man. Any chance he gets.
I don't mean to, but it's like
you walk around the streets here, you're probably like, God, that guy's 45. Disgusting.
Nah, bro. You're not. You know, it's not that. I've seen wrestling. Obviously, I've been watching. I'm an older man now. You know what I mean? So I've seen Randy wrestle in his 20s. I know what a young athletic Randy Orton looks like. So to see the same Randy Orton can't do a third of what he used to, it's heartbreaking. You know what I mean? It's like if you used to see if you used to go watch name a wrestler you've been watching your whole entire life. John Cena. You telling me this John Cena run and ring is like warming for your soul? No, it sucks, but you're there because it's nostalgic, and you love Cena, and you want to see it through. You know what I mean? But other than that, it is lackluster.
Yeah, 100%. Like this week, if the IWC did anything for me, is it helped me remember how bad the Brothers of Destruction versus DX match was, because they were comparing it to the Carter 6, and I was just like, oh man, I totally forgot about. I did a good job at forgetting that match. And then I seen it, and I was like, damn, it was ass. That was
the Carter 6 that bad?
I didn't listen to it. I don't listen to things that can perceive my.
Did you enjoy that match?
No,
I did not enjoy that match.
Listen, Little Wayne is my goat. Okay, and nobody would take that. Nobody would ever take that away from me. So I will not listen. I will not stand for Little Wayne slander, even though he is washed. But at the end, my whole point about the ageism thing is like watching wrestlers you love for 20 years, 15, 20 years, watch them become a shell of themselves is truly heartbreaking. Because that means your childhood is over. There's no more nostalgia eyes. You know what I mean?
It was like when Taker lost the first time, and then he kept losing. I'm like, come on, just give up. Like, why are we doing this?
Like, you're washed, I'm washed. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, watching an Adam Copeland match hurts. It hurts me to watch it.
Damn. Poor Adam Copeland catching strays in this.
No. I'm just naming old niggas. I'm naming old guys at this point. You know what I mean? I'm like, he said he was like, yeah, after a match, I need a week to recover. I'm trying, guys. Bear with me. Haven't been on the podcast episode in about 7 weeks. I'm trying to get back.
I'm getting the Cash App request right now. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's gonna be fat. I'm gonna get fined. It's over. It's over. It's fine. We had a good run. Guys. Mouthing off with 4 sides. The one and only time.
To be fair, this is a collaboration episode, so I am allotted a couple.
You're allowed.
Just going back to track though, for
I'm allotted a couple of them.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm trying, guys.
To go back to Kenneth's comment, I don't think we get Cody Gunther. I think if Cody goes anywhere towards the World Heavyweight Championship, he defeats his whole purpose with John Cena and trying to get that title back. So I think Cody and the World Heavyweight Championship is not going to be an existent thing for a while.
It's a weird story because I can see Cena dropping the strap at SummerSlam.
No, I can see Cena just retiring with the title.
Right, I could see them pulling some absolute buffoonery and having something crazy happen at Night of Champions or SummerSlam with Seth.
I can see some shenanigans. If you shenan once, you can shenan again.
You can shenan again. I mean, I think our boy. I don't want to steal his flow bar for bar, but I think our boys Mark and Rick from Booking Like a Mark talked a little bit about possibly Punk beating Cena at Night of Champions and Seth cashing in on Punk.
But that just recycles that whole entire feud between Seth and Pepsi Phil. You know what I mean?
But that's what they want, though.
Oh my God! Another year of. Here's what I think the SummerSlam match is: Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
That's ideal.
I think that's a match. Do I see a cash in with Naomi or Seth at SummerSlam? Naomi, I think Naomi's gonna hold on to the strap. I think the SummerSlam women's plans is probably gonna be Tiffany and Jade. You know what I mean?
You think Jade's gonna win Queen of the Ring?
I don't see why she wouldn't. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't she?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa's in there.
No, see, that's not the biggest. That's not the biggest match for SummerSlam. You got to think about SummerSlam like a second WrestleMania.
Asuka.
You know what I mean? I can see Jade is definitely going to beat Roxanne. Then on the other end, it doesn't even matter.
To be honest with you, I think the world might trip if Stephanie Valkyrie doesn't win this entire thing.
The world is tripping. The world is tripping already.
World is tripping already. I mean, Stephanie. I don't think Stephanie should win this qualifying. I don't think so. She thinks whatsoever at all. I think it should be. I think it should be Asuka. It should be Asuka.
You know what's the beauty of a fatal 4-way? She doesn't need to get pinned, so it doesn't even matter.
So for me, just hear me out. I got Jade and Bliss at the final of Night of Champions. At that match, Charlotte cost Jade the match.
I pulled it right out of my brain, brother. That's exactly what I was going to tell you.
Well, I haven't seen SmackDown in a while. Am I missing a connection between
Yeah,
Charlotte and
Yeah,
Charlotte and Jade feuding a little bit. You got a little alliance between Alexa and Charlotte with Jade. Jade kind of feuding with a little bit than everybody than Naomi right now. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
listen?
I got Jade going to the final, but I got Charlotte Flair. Because Charlotte, do you know what it is right now on SmackDown too? Charlotte hasn't been getting with all these new women that have been getting called up, and all these new women who they just have that I'm the shit, on them right now. That attitude, like their shit don't stink. So Charlotte's not getting that. Oh, here comes the queen treatment. Like, oh, here's Charlotte. Like everybody, like look at Charlotte. You know what I mean? Because no one cares about her.
you know what's crazy? Charlotte, we call Charlotte the queen, and Charlotte has never once won the Queen of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I always thought that was funny because it's like, she's never even been a queen.
Well, she's from the Queen City.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She's
That's
from the Queen City. I get it. I get it.
It's an ass pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
It's
But I'm just saying. I agree with you, Marcus. I think you read that like a book, dude. It's Bliss and Jade in the finals because if you look at this bracket, it's SmackDown women. So if we're right, and it ends up being Jade versus Bliss, Charlotte's got beef with Bliss. That's right there. Read that like a book. Jade gets the win. Absolutely. Jade versus Tiffany. Jade beats Tiffany. Naomi cashes in on Jade. Naomi walks out SummerSlam as the champ.
Mm-hmm.
That's the booking. So to answer your question, Kenneth, I think we see Naomi cash in at SummerSlam.
They have this weird SummerSlam obsession. I have a fever dream that when EO cashed in 2 years ago. By the way, actually, this might have to be a Raw's woman winning this match because EO's been kind of AWOL. She heard of something?
I don't know. I just
She's
don't
not
think
hurt.
they have. I just don't think they have anything for EO.
Well, we were talking about this before we went on air, Marcus and I. The problem is Triple H doesn't know how to book women unless her name is Rhea Ripley.
Or Liv. Liv's been having some solid booking lately.
I mean, whatever the case may be, but it's like, look, EO was his girl in NXT. When he kind of had the last pull in NXT. His girls were Rhea, Bianca, Shayna, Asuka, EO, and a few others, which I thought were going to get additional shine and opportunities. Half the women I named were released, were not renewed. So I was shocked to see that one, but I think on the flip side of things here, it's like I don't think they haven't even figured out who's in what division on Raw. That's been the issue this whole time. We know who the U.S. women contenders are on SmackDown, and we know who the women contenders are in the world title picture. Tell me who's in the IC title picture right now for the women: Becky and Lyra, Bayley. There you go. Who's the women Raw championship? It's messy.
It's messy.
Very messy.
But you have a whole bunch of women on the way coming up. You know what I mean?
I respect that.
You do, but
so
you do have a bunch of people getting. It's just how do you build those people? You know what I mean? Without taking time from these dominating women that need to be on television.
But you do what you're doing right now with Julia, right? Obviously, I'm gonna sound like if you haven't seen me in a while, I'll be like, wow, I don't remember Chano being this much of a hater. But like, I can't wait until Zelina drops strap because to me, she doesn't do anything with it. And partially that's because of booking. Booking's had her in this vortex with the Secret Hervis. And I don't know if you guys heard Chelsea's podcast, but she was like, even though she wants the title back, she feels like her feud with Zelina is over. Mm-hmm. Just like she feels like her feud with Mitchin was way too long.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fans got tired and bored of it. And I respect that. You know what I mean? That's very honorable to be able to admit that, listen, I don't want the fans getting bored of me, Zelina, or the U.S. title. I don't want the women to feel this way. I don't want the fans to feel this way about the women's division. So that's incredible. But I do feel like Julia would be a better champion in the sense where you can literally throw the whole division at her and go that route, because right now Zelina's kind of like winning like underdog style, like roll-ups and other shenanigans.
As a babyface should.
Not even on some babyface shit. It's like some super underdog babyface shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like It's kind of like how
Well, she
Mariah.
is like the shortest woman in the roster.
Yeah, but you remember when Mariah May, or now Blake Monroe, when she was on AEW and like she was barely wrestling, but then that Owen Hart tournament, she was winning in some OD like BS ways, like roll
Oh yeah,
ups, foot on the ropes. Like it wasn't satisfying wins. We have yet to get a satisfying win out of Zelina to be like she belongs. All this does is give her extra TV time with nothing to really show for it outside of the US title.
I think it's too soon to put the strap on Julia. I don't think the crowd relatively I don't think the crowd knows necessarily who Julia really is yet,
But
and I think they haven't seen her enough.
But bro, they doing the same reaction with Julia that they're doing for Zelina right now. It's all mutes and crickets.
Yeah, so why not keep the strap on Zelina where the crowd actually knows her and you give her a little bit of chance to maybe, get a little bit of a pop and then build Julie up in the same sense before you end up inevitably, flipping that title. Because if you put the title on Julie, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
I feel like you can win people over with good grabs, right? Like we saw that when Andrade first came back to WWE, people are like, man, but then you have the 7-game series with him and Mello, and people are like, oh my god, this guy can go. And people are like, oh my god, Mello can go. Like I feel like you can build a fan base that way. And it's not like I want to see Zelina fail because I do want to see Zelina succeed, but just based off what I've seen from Zelina the past couple of years, it's like what you see right now is what you got. Like Mike, like you said, she's the shortest woman on our roster, and it's not really there's really nothing there, man.
I
And
think
like
this is also.
Well, this is a good comment though. That they do push the Zelina Ray a lot.
yeah.
See, Zelina's, you know what it is? It's just like everyone says Zelina's like small, she's too small, but like Alexa Bliss is small, Roxanne is small, and those girls can go. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that she's not a bad in-ring wrestler,
No, of
but
course
she's not at the same caliber as most of the women on the main roster right now. You know what I mean? Like even Julia. Julia just at a different level when it comes to in-ring wrestling. And Zelina, Zelina has definitely been trying to get her way there, and she has definitely improved more than most. Like Maxine Dupree has, I think, been training for 10 years, and she just can't get it. You know what I mean? Eve Marie trained for the longest; she just couldn't get it. And Zelina gets it. She's great on the mic. So the wrestling it eventually come, but then it's just like every time it's like one of those things that's like you think you get to one spot, you're like, yeah, I finally did it. Like, look where I'm at. And then it's just like, but all these girls are already 10, 20 steps above you. You know what I mean? We're bringing them in. So it's just hard for Zelina. She's just in a hard spot. I think what you could do to elevate the women's United States Championship, especially that mid card roster, is kind of what you're doing with the Intercontinental. Right, put one of your bets on it, like Becky. Maybe have Charlotte go through this like menopause thing where she just maybe she does think she's not it anymore. You know what I mean? And she uses the United States Championship to get that oomph back to say, I am the queen. I am the best in the world. I am the best women's wrestler to have ever stepped in foot inside the square circle.
To be honest with you, the big fuck up I think was if I could go back and redo it and rebook it, Tiffany doesn't win Money in the Bank, but instead she becomes the second US champion after Chelsea Green. So I would have had Tiffany been the US champion instead of having Tiffany as the women's world champion. I think in my personal opinion, I would have had that happen, or I would have put that US title on Jade during the tournament. I would have said, okay, put it on Jade.
I think when they called Tiffany up, they had that plan for her already,
I think they probably did, but I think hindsight's 2020. I think if you wanted to get that, I don't think we should do the veteran wins the US title on SmackDown because they did it on Raw. And then that's lazy booking. That just shows Triple H is lazy or the creative team is lazy.
In a sense, yes and no, because on Raw they did it wrong. and they try to piggyback off a storyline that got settled on NXT. So
it was great.
It was dry. It was dry and boring.
What, the match or the storyline?
A lot of it. I'd say all of it all together. You know what I mean?
The matches are great.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and really watch it. But in live time, you know what I mean? It was Lyra and Becky was just like, I don't have to watch this, right? Where in the United States women's side, you already have a vet who's holding the title right now in Zelina. Not in the same status as Charlotte Flair, obviously. You know what I mean? I think Mitchum would have been a great person too to throw the title on. I think Piper Niven would have been, maybe Chelsea Green training Piper Niven to get to that spot. You know what I mean? Piper deserves some type of flowers. I think that would be a good spot for her too. I think if you're going to elevate the title with around 3 people, like Mike said, just do hot potato. It's fine to do hot potato. It doesn't decrease the value of the title itself. You know what I mean? It's who cares if this person is a 4-time United States Women's Champion? That's fine, because when it first started, it just became something, so it makes sense that it was hot potato. But I think, like I said, if you do something with Charlotte and have her go down there and help elevate those women and put them in a better spot, so when she tells herself I could go back for that world title, she leaves that United States Women Championship interesting. You know what I mean? And we'll be prepared for it more. So it just depends. It depends. But I truly think the way Raw went about it was just wrong.
Mark makes a valid point. A U.S. women's title would make sense. U.S. Open for the women. That would make sense. That'd be good.
That'd make sense. And even with that, we have this promotion. You know what I mean? I would take Masha Slamovich to come in and squash Lena Vega.
Yeah.
Masha Slamovich is now your United States champion. I would take that 100%, and that puts eyes on your, this partnership with TNA that you have, so there's ways we could do it and get around it. So see, Kenneth agrees. Charlotte and Zelina would be very
Charlotte and Zelina would be interesting.
So for the watchers, the viewers, they're like, what the fuck is Chano doing? Basically, it is your boy's time to leave. So I'm doing all my closing up activities while still listening and chiming in slowly.
Oh my God.
Yo, Mike, maximize me real quick. I want to show the people a nice view if I can. Hold up.
Maximize you? Oh my God. I don't know how to.
This is live time, everybody.
There we go. There, he's maximized.
Look at this view.
Ah, yes. Nothing like the view of.
Look at and that's Staten Island.
The Hudson. Where are you?
Hudson. Bro, all right. So if you look all the way in the cut over there, that's Brooklyn, right?
Okay.
And then that's Manhattan over there.
Right.
And this is city as Bayonne. Oh, also Manhattan. Look at that. Look at the skyline. It's gorgeous.
Is that JD from New York?
That's who?
Oh, no, that's a trash can. I'm sorry.
Trash can. You know what? for a guy, I almost said
I'd love to see Jordan Grace on the main roster, Kenneth. I said that
they say she's coming to SmackDown. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly. But yeah, I mean, I want to see her. I mean, Jordan Grace is U.S. Women's Champion. That moves the needle for me. Wink, wink.
I mean, Jordan Grace is great.
Fallon Henley could have got the call up too.
Fallon Henley, I would love to see Fallon. I think Fallon's gonna be the one to beat JC Jane though. JC Jane.
To be honest, I think Fallon Henley is way too talented to be JC Jane's number 2. I think she should have been the number 1.
I mean, she was technically, but not for that title.
Yeah, I mean, I think she'll beat JC for the title. To be honest,
she still should.
She should 100%. Speaking about NXT though, yeah, we did talk about Blake Monroe. Chana, how did you feel about the debut? Did you pop?
For who?
For Miss Blake Monroe?
No, because I wasn't. Bro, I haven't seen. I've been here. How am I watching wrestling? When I seen the clip the next morning, I remember what happened. Your boy had to be at work on Tuesday, like at 1:00 in the morning, so I knocked out mad early. So I saw the clip. I was like, "Oh, that's dope." I know TK is fuming.
Apparently, Nit Rim and Brandy got a noise complaint because Brandy popped so loud.
I believe it.
They got a noise complaint?
They got a noise complaint because he was so loud when she popped up.
Oh my
He
god.
said he popped. And the next morning, my brother got a call.
Absolutely out of bounds. Listen,
about being too loud after a certain time.
I'll be the obvious one here. You know, it's giving, you know, Bewitched. It's giving, like, you know, if you guys have seen Bewitched, they do like the animated, you know, graphic at the end there. So it gives a little bit of that energy. It also gives me, they bar for bar copied the Sabrina Carpenter tour entrance, the towel and with the bathtub. And the only reason I know this is because the missus is a big Sabrina Carpenter fan. And she showed me the tour video, and yeah, bar for bar, word for word, basically took that shit and implemented it for Mariah May.
Hey, it wouldn't be WWE if they weren't borrowing something, right?
That's something. Blake Monroe, you know, look, listen, you could have done Mariah May, M-A-E. You could have done Mariah March. You could have done April, May. You could have done, you know, January, June. You know what I mean? Listen, it was a little bit more catchier.
You could have spelled Mariah a different way.
You could have spelled Mariah. There was a couple different ways we could have worked around this.
Blake Monroe just doesn't sit right with me.
Mariah Monroe was right there.
Mariah Monroe works. Yeah.
You know?
And I get it. You know, and shouts out to Blake for doing it for homage of her niece. It's awesome. Yeah. It's just not a wrestling name that fits.
You know what's mad funny? The fact that we have the audacity to tell wrestlers how the name sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they thought about it themselves. Like, you know what? I think this is a good name. And then you got us three fucking assholes. Like, you know what? I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's because
it's not that I don't like it. I just felt that like Mariah May had that alliteration to it. It flowed off the tongue. Mariah May. You know, Blake Monroe doesn't have that same hit to it, but like Ricky Starks and Ricky Saints, I got over that pretty quick, you know. But it's like I don't know. It's a weird.
You know, it's a bad one. JC Mateo.
I was just
JC
Mateo.
I was just really bad
thinking
one.
that
it was a bad one.
It's Jeff Cobb Mateo. It's 3 names.
It's just right. It's just like it's just bad. They could have just gave us something else. They could have just gave us Mateo.
They could have just called him fucking JC. They could have just been like, yo, JC. Big JC. Big JC. That works.
Can't do that when you have Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah, whatever. Big Bronson Reed. Whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. Blake Monroe I don't know. Just for me, it's just like I don't know. I gotta watch more. I just gotta watch more. I think
we'll get used to it.
It was very. Let me show you the people that me and Tony Khan used for these promotion packages.
You gotta think about it. They changed Edge to Adam Copeland, even though that's his government name. And then they changed it to Cope. Then they changed it to Cope, which is even worse. You know what I mean?
Cope Mint, Cope Wintergreen. You know what I mean?
And I hate it even more. You know why? Because he's 51 years old. God damn it.
There's no way WWE drops the bag on Blake, right? There's no way tables can turn on her and people are just not fans. Because if you remember her when she first started with AEW, people weren't big fans. Tony Storm helped a lot in just really making her a star. Then she did the tournament, won that, and everyone's like, "Oh, this like she could work. She's really good. She's fantastic." Then did the storyline with Tony Storm. She got the title. Everyone was like, "This reign is whack. It's not good. It's a little boring." Do you think you could kind of see those things for her with NXT?
Ultimately, it's always booking. You know what I mean? If she had such a great moment when she won the title with All In for it to go to shit immediately after.
I think WWE watched what went wrong at the tail end of the title reign and what went wrong. And I think they're going to make a effort up front to ensure that those same things don't happen in NXT. Because just from the presentation alone, I think there's more than meets the eye to what her character is. I don't think it's just, I'm beautiful, look at me in the bathtub, look at me with the sparkly towel, look at me with the, the nice shoes or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's something more to this character. Like, I don't think they're going to give her any like supernatural elements, but just from like the, like the vibe of that video package, I think they're going to give her something like a little extra juice, like with her presentation. So I don't think they're going to fumble this. I think this is one of those situations where if it got to a point and it felt like they were shoving a square peg in a round hole, they're going to sand edges of the square peg to make it into that round hole type of vibe here. I think that they'll make a conceited effort every possible step to make her be a thing.
I agree with you. The only thing I wish they would have done, and I think which would have worked, was that's facts.
That is what I said before we went on the air. I did say I think if there was to be a ball drop, it takes place on the transition, on the handoff.
I wish Shawn Michaels just would have gave us Mariah May versus Stephanie Valkyrie, Mariah May versus Julia, Mariah May versus Jordan Grace, Mariah May versus Roxanne Perez. You can even have Mariah May tell all these girls, like, I'm going to be the reason why you leave NXT. Like, I'm sending you to the main roster. And have her work her way up. Because I just feel like JC Jane is definitely a stepping stone for, I don't know if it's for her, for somebody, a bigger personnel. Well, I guess we'll get there when we get there, But I definitely agree with you. I think there's more to Blake than, I guess, what meets the eye. We just gotta wait. I gotta be patient. But it's just, she still comes off as Mariah May. There was nothing, you know what I mean? Like, Ricky Saints, like you said, has done a good job. I forgot about Stark. You know what I mean? He's built into Ricky Saints, and then Lexis King. You know what I mean? Lexis King's a whole new character, a whole brand new person. So,
but it took you a while to get on the Lexis King bandwagon.
I'm not on the bandwagon. Like, I wave hi to you guys when you come by. You know what I mean? I'm not.
You're not a intellectual sexual.
No.
Intellectual. Oh boy.
Intellectual sexual. There's a picture of Brandy in Florida, and I was like, oh my god, you look like Lexis King. He cursed me out.
He cursed. What was the first name they called themselves, the fans? Lex offenders. Yeah.
Lex offenders. Listen, Lectual Sexual is a good one. I love it.
Lectual Sexual is pretty solid.
But let's jump into this nightcap, Mike. What we got?
We're jumping into a nightcap. Chano, are you staying around for the nightcap, or are you gonna leave your prison over there? You gonna leave prison?
Yes. My warden has told me I can go home. And as much as I would love to continue talking to you lovely people, your boy wants to go shower. You know what I mean?
All right.
Your boy's tired. So next time, I don't know when I come back to recording, Marcus needs to put the bat signal on for your boy. You know what I mean? Or Mike turns on the bat signal. And if I'm at work, or if magically I'm at the crib.
No, don't worry, I got you. Your new show is gonna be Drinking with Chano. It's gonna be you drinking while you're going over applications for Hater University.
Listen, it's gonna be. I'm not gonna get through the applications. I'm just gonna get hammered and talk about how much I like things right now. you know the Knuckles. You know the Knuckles meme. Approved. I don't know about this one. Approved. That's gonna be me drinking doing applications. Like, what do you mean you dropped out in the second grade? Yes, sir.
Chano skipping the nightcap for a shower cap. Hey, yo.
Yo, next time we do a collaboration episode, me and Booking Like a Mark, we're gonna go find Rick 8-Bit so we go with the banjos for the opening.
Yeah, we're gonna needs more banjo, baby. Peace out, Chano.
Peace, love, happiness.
Well, it's always great seeing Chano, man. I guess we should talk a little bit about SmackDown. I mean, we're still missing one thing, Mr. Marcus, founder of Four Sides of the Ring. This bad boy. We never even mentioned this bad boy.
We did get a new title this week.
We did get a new title. Where's Brandon? Call up the championship culture.
Call the guy.
Call the signal. Get the signal on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Call up Brandon, the guy, because you know he's going to have some hot takes for the new season of championship culture on the Wrestling Realm coming this next week. Dude, I like this title.
You're a hater if you say you don't like the title. 100%.
I don't know how anybody could not like this title. It's big. It's gold. It's shiny. It scratches the aesthetic feel of a championship belt. I have no issues with this belt.
My favorite thing about it, it looks like an international title. It looks like it could be shown on CMLL. It looks like it could be shown all over Japan and any of their promotions. Like, I feel like somebody in New Japan Pro Wrestling or CMLL could win this title and it could stay in that promotion. You know what I mean? And hold its lineage and people can respect it because it's a gorgeous title.
It's great, dude. I agree.
And I think this definitely plays like AEW World Championship, the Undisputed, Continental International Championship, TNT.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
this is a world title for them.
Yeah, like that. It's a nice belt. It's a nice belt. The one thing that sucks is like, obviously it doesn't suck, but we're gonna get Kenny Omega and Okada 5 out of it. But man,
I don't think that sucks. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that sucks. I mean, listen, first of all, didn't know I could do this. Wow, what a concept this is right here. This is impressive. I'm learning technology tonight. The other cool parts are if you look on the side plates, their finishing moves are on the side plates. That dude, it pays the AEW Unified Championship. Is the name a little anticlimactic? Sure. But what could you possibly had named this title? You can't call it, because if they would have said, and they would have, because Marcus, it's true. It's true what I'm about to say. If they would have said, forget that. If they would have said the AEW Championship, and then they differentiated it with the AEW World Championship, everyone and their mother would be typing their Twitter fingers along that they copy WWE because WWE has the WWE Championship and the World title. Blah, 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 blah. And then the same thing with the Intercontinental. They copy the Intercontinental Championship. But nobody mentioned when TNA unveiled the International Championship that they didn't, they just, we have the International Championship in AEW. We have the Continental Championship in AEW. No one made a peep about TNA copying, but because it's AEW copying or doing something similar to WWE, that's when everybody and their mother wants to run to social media and complain about the title or copying.
You know how it is, man. It's one of those things that's like they'll take credit for the good stuff, but then blame AEW for all the bad stuff, even though it's not AEW.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
It's like you said. What else were you going to call this title? You probably could have went, the AEW Universal Championship, but like you said, that you definitely would have got the Twitter fans.
And you definitely, and how many adjectives, or synonyms can you find for world? You know what I mean? Yeah.
We could have went old school on it though. We could have went like a like AEW Light Heavyweight Championship.
You could have Light Heavyweight Championship. You could have, kind of similar to what New Japan does. They have the IWGP Junior, Championship, but unified because it's a unified title. I mean, I think logically, logistically, that's the easiest route for them because it's like, look, we name this anything else, we're encroaching in WWE territory, we're encroaching in New Japan territory, we're encroaching in this. So let's just call it the unified title. The AEW Unified Championship. So now you're you've unified the championships and you've slimmed down your mid cards and you've combined your continental and your international title rankings or whatever, whatever divisions, and now you've created a second world title, and now you have your TNT title as your mid card, and now you have your 2 world titles, right? Your 1A, 1B. That best decision I think AEW could make right now. Yeah, you could say global champion. I mean, unified global championship would have been pretty solid too. I think no matter what, someone would have complained. I mean, we complained about Blake Monroe's name, I mean, I don't think we complained about it. I think we just kind of
it could have been better.
It could have been better, right? But, we're not used to, that name. Same thing, I feel like a lot of people will get used to. But the real question is for me to you here, not to hijack the show. We know how important, very important tournaments are in AEW. By unifying this title, did this finish the Continental Classic? Because I feel like if this finishes the Continental Classic and the only tournament AEW then has is the Owen Hart, I don't know if that's a good move, because AEW's tournaments have kind of gotten them out of their trenches every once in a while.
You could change Continental to the Undisputed Classic.
The Unified Classic?
The Unified Classic, yeah.
I guess we'll have
something
to
like that. Do you know TK loves a good tournament? He'll whip one up.
Dude, he loves a good tournament.
And something tells me, since we're unifying titles, we might be getting a new title.
Or sets of titles.
Women's tag team tournament. There's a lot of good things, I guess, coming AEW's way. We just don't know, Well, the reason why I said it sucks is because I don't think it sucks that we're getting Kenny and Okada out of it, because obviously, who doesn't want to watch that, right?
Yeah.
But for me, what sucks about it is it's neither one of these guys, win or lose, you don't know what's next for them. You know what I mean? Kenny Omega, win or lose, wins. Well, okay. What's your goals for this title? Because who beats the greatest wrestler of all time? Especially when you're trying to
run Will Ospreay at one of them.
Yeah, Will right now is in a storyline where he wants that world title. So
yeah.
But then it's the same thing for Okada. If Okada wins, okay, so what is Okada going to do to elevate the title? Because he wasn't doing nothing with the Continental title, to elevate it. I'm not going to say he wasn't doing it. He was defending. He was having his matches, his comical matches. So, and then it's the same thing for both these guys if they lose. What's the story for Okada now that he's lost the title? And what's the story for Kenny now that he's lost the title? Kenny might be a little easier. I got to go, help Will Ospreay and these guys fight the Young Bucks and get the title from Jon Moxley. Okada, does he help the Young Bucks, and Jon Moxley keep the title on that side? So, it's just like, that's the whole part that sucks about it, because I feel like when you do stuff like this for mid-card titles, the person who's dropping the title or the person who's saying, okay, I'm going to allow you to unify them, that person gets pushed into a bigger presence and gets pushed towards the main title, and we get to see a run with them. For example, Gunther with the Intercontinental, right? We watched a great Intercontinental run with Gunther. Let's put the main title on him. Didn't work out so much in his favor. Dropped it to Jey. Now we're back at it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the whole point of mid-card. But when your two mid-card guys holding the title right now are main guys, it's kind of hard to, see the direction for either or, winner or loser for that match. So that, for me, that's the only part that sucks about it.
That's fair. I mean, the one thing I'd say about Okada is I was just thinking about it, and I had to look it up because I wasn't sure, but G1 Climax.
Yeah.
Maybe AEW, maybe New Japan says, yo, we need a favor. We need you to loan us Okada for this G1 Climax. And we gotta shake things up in July. So maybe that very well could be that they could go with.
You know what? Yeah, and that makes sense. And then when he comes back, he could be like, you know what? I went back to Japan and they told me I was a clown out here, and I'm not a clown.
That could be what brings us back to our glorious rainmaker of Okada.
Rainmaker. Yeah,
that could be the move. I like it.
That could be the move. I like that too. I like it a lot.
Yeah, we're cooking, dude. Marcus and Mike, we cook here on Mouthing Off with Four Sides, dude. We should have just called this Mouthing Off with Marcus and Mike, dude. This Eminem, dude.
But you gotta get the big head filters. We'll just rock big heads the whole time. Just do big heads
We'll
all the time.
slap this bad boy in Riverside, and we'll use AI to make ourselves look like babies or something.
Like, did you listen to those guys with the big heads? They're hilarious.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, I guess we should probably. We're current. It's late. It's almost 1:00 for you on the East Coast, brother. I can't. You're hanging in with me.
What Saturday? It's the weekend.
It's
the weekend. We're talking wrestling. It's great.
Talking wrestling. It's John Cena's kicking off SmackDown tonight, man. Had Randy Orton show up, had Cody Rhodes show up, had R-Truth show up. Hell, we even got CM Punk later in the night showing up. Marcus, what the hell do you make of everything that's going on here with this John Cena? Everything. Cody, Randy, R-Truth, well, Ron Killings, let me say, CM Punk, all of the above.
It's a lot. I feel like they don't know their direction, where they want to go, because Cena's schedule is so busy. So I feel like they're trying to plan around without him. They're obviously planning around him. They have to, because he's their world champion, but they're planning without him. And they're like, I feel like they're just like, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. One thing I don't like about it is that he's not getting to cook on the mic as much as I wish could see him cook on the mic. But I'll tell you right now, Mike, I want this man to flame CM Punk.
Ooh.
Like,
you want to see him flame him?
Yes. If there's anybody that could get away with it and CM Punk can't bitch about it, it's John Cena. You know what I mean? And tonight CM Punk was saying some things to him that was just like, yeah, you're right. I might have sold out, but like, you sold out too and couldn't make it work at another company. Yeah, I want Cena to say some stuff like that, or like just drop like, like, oh, was that a real promo, or was that like fake glass? Just
real
like
glass,
just I want to see CM Punk's face go ghost white. And for that, if that could happen, I think they could definitely make their story work, because I feel like every promo against John Cena has been the same.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for them. I'm doing this for them. You don't care about
wrestling.
I'm trying to save wrestling. I'm trying to do. It's like, let's get over the fact that people are trying to save wrestling. That's the whole point of trying to beat John Cena, is to get the title back.
The only person that can say that, I think, in this whole storyline is Cody. Cody is a superhero, right? I think the only one who's justified in saying, I'm trying to save wrestling for you, the people, is Cody Rhodes, because he is for the people. Punk saying, I'm going to save wrestling for the people, just kind of is a self-fulfilling prophecy for Cena with his words. Punk saying, yeah, I'm going to save wrestling for the people, but at the end of the day, we all know what Punk wants. Punk wants the title. Punk hasn't held the title in 13 years. That's what Punk cares. Punk does not, like, in a character-wise, deep down, we know that Punk can be an evil son of a bitch. What if it's Cena being the evil son of a bitch that brings Punk back to his evil ways? Could you see a swerve like that out of this, where Night of Champions happens and we see Punk like desperately trying to win the title, and Cena kind of calls him out on it and says, look, you weren't trying to save wrestling for the people and save wrestling from me. You were trying to save yourself in wrestling so you'd have a future in this company. Like that, going into what you're saying about, I want to hear Cena fry his ass up, because I don't think Punk fried Cena tonight. As much as the people on the internet like reacted to that promo, I think there was a point where I think Punk forgot what he was going to say.
Oh, 100%.
And we went in a completely different direction, because I don't think Punk wanted to say what I think it was like Punk was like thinking about what he wanted to take it to the next level. Because that was the whole setup of this promo tonight, was I'm gonna get real here. It's about to get real. It's about to go down. And then he like stumbled, stammered, said something else, said that I see through you. And it's like, I've heard that before. Like, you've said that in the past. Like he played his greatest hits against Cena here tonight while trying to mix in that he's being so real, but in reality,
yeah,
I feel like he fell flat on this.
I'm John Cena and you're CM Punk. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like we got that. Like we got that the last time. And Mark makes a good point. I think it was Cena's best heel promo. He actually explained everything that happened at the beginning of the year. No, it was. It was his best heel promo. Now, piggybacking off what you said, we all know the read between the lines for this story. It is the infamous CM Punk telling The Miz in his Instagram comments, go suck a blood-covered dick in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're using as a storyline in the Fed or in the E in WWE in 2025. We're using the storyline, the hypocrisy of CM Punk, which I think is I've built this era of wrestling, the reality era. And the more we down this path, the more I was right. Not to toot my own horn, because we are so embroiled in reality now in wrestling that they tried to spin a contract renewal into a work.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reality era. We don't know anything. I don't know anything.
And that's why I want Cena just to bring the reality to Punk. You know what I mean? Just like tell Punk all the things. It's like, yeah, we were gonna hand you the keys, but you couldn't handle the pressure because you got caught in your feelings because you didn't want to put the big bald son of a bitch over at Mania. It's just like throw the realness in his face. Like you could have had everything. You could have been in my shoes, but you just didn't want to. Yeah, you didn't want to play part.
You didn't want to play the game.
Right, I played part. That's why I was here 18. That's why I'm here 18 times.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you had your first main event at WrestleMania 25 years later.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just throw the fact. That's the heat, because that's what's gonna get CM Punk to go. Fuck, he's right.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get the fuel back, like you said. I need something to get me to be CM Punk again. And the only way to do that is if John Cena gets real with him.
Yeah, and you have CM Punk calling John Cena PG John Cena, and it's like, dude, where did I hear that before? Oh, MJF called you PG Punk.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I see what you're doing here, Punk, but it's like, I agree. I think Cena should have leaned into that. They should have leaned into, and I think you nailed that right there. Play up. Punk keeps mentioning how he was the one who successfully beat John Cena, took the title, walked away, went home with the title, blah, 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 blah. Why doesn't Cena, like you said, say, well, Punk, at the end of that, who was the champion?
Mm-hmm.
Who ended up putting this company on his back for another 10 years after you took your ball, crawled between your legs, left, went on a podcast and bitched to the world that it was so bad here when all you had to do was play the game, and you didn't want to play the game because all you know, and like you could have even thrown a reference in something like this where it's like you could have played the game. You didn't want to play the game, and it's all about the game and how you play it. Like, ooh, man, now you're calling back the heat between him and Triple H. You're calling back the heat with Vince and everything else. Go ahead.
That you could say, or you can even throw like, you could have like you said, you could have the keys to the game, but like you were so high in your own addiction, you didn't even see what was right in front of you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And play into his straight edge. You say you're so straight edge, but you were high, so far high up your ass in this game. You didn't even see what was right in front of you.
You were high on your own on your own hype. You know what I mean?
You had
like
the whole empire in your hand, because we've been seeing that promo a lot too. Everybody telling Cena, "Oh yeah, you got 18, but because they put you there, he put you there, he put you there, he gave it to you." You know what I mean? And if CM Punk is going to play that part, CM Punk is that guy, like you said. He's been saying, "I'm the one who did this. I'm the one." Yeah, you were supposed to be that guy, bro. And you were.
That's the crazy part about the whole thing is like things could have turned out differently. But obviously, we don't. It's not all on Punk because it was the regime at the time.
100%.
Not 100%. Right? We know that, and that's what I want to clarify that for the viewers, because we know it wasn't CM Punk just up and leaving. It was they treated him like shit, and that's fair. But yeah, we need more juice. We need if you have 2 weeks, 15 days till Night of Champions. You have 4 shows from now until then to give me and Marcus and you the heat that we need from this rivalry.
Because
especially if it's the only time we get it.
Right now, sometimes I get a little jealous of the Saudi card. I'm like, oh man, it's such a good card. It should have been on an American pay-per-view. But this match right here, I'm like, they could have that one because I'm not ready. It's not built up for me yet.
This should be on SummerSlam. I'm not going to get into the politics of the wrestling industry, but yeah, I mean, that money is fat. How did they re-sign Omos, who they don't use, while originally deciding to let Truth's contract expire? That's a great question, Mark. I'd love to know.
You always don't run into giants in the world of wrestling.
Yeah, I think
it's. I don't want to say this without sounding like a douchebag or an asshole, but you could find 100 R-Truths as entertainers. You know what I mean? But you're not going to find, a giant like Omos.
Yeah,
like it'd be harder. It'd be harder to find that giant
freak of nature. Yeah, no way. Yeah, I think that's plus what let's be real. They're probably giving Omos what 150,000, 200,000 for a 2-year deal. That 200K. That's pocket change for TKO. Like
I think R-Truth wanted like 50 million.
Really?
I'm just joking. I just wanted to see if SRS would pop up in the comments and say, "What's your source?"
He's coming, dude. We're the last show on social media tonight. So he might be perusing. Give us contracts, SRS, please. We need jobs. Pay us for this shit. I don't get paid enough.
Get paid enough.
We had 4 tournament matches tonight. That's the power of a 3-hour SmackDown, folks. We got the King of the Ring tournament, LA Knight. Yeah. Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black, Randy Orton. This was the most predictable shit I've ever seen in my life. Braun Breaker beat up LA Knight, which we knew was coming. Aleister Black looked great. He wasn't anywhere near the pinfall, which was thank God. And Randy Orton hit a crazy RKO on Carmelo Hayes on top of LA Knight. Randy pins LA Knight. Randy's going to the next round of the tournament, and he's going to take on Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn. And Kenneth, I hope you're still watching. What is your take on Orton versus Zayn, Marcus?
It's going to cook. This is going to cook, and Sami Zayn wins with the help of Kevin Owens.
What? Why are you in my head? Get the fuck out of my head.
When I saw the table lined up and I seen it, I said, "Ooh, Sammy, Randy." I said, "Randy should win, but he won't if there's a returning Kevin Owens."
But did he get the neck surgery? Was the neck surgery a work? What, are we really playing games about neck surgeries?
It all just randomly died out. Usually when we hear injuries in wrestling, especially like neck surgeries, there's somebody on it every day. Yeah. There was a successful neck, this person had a successful surgery today. This person's resting. They're doing this. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens just died out.
It did.
So
I don't know, man. That's like the one thing where it's like I don't know because like it's a neck and but KO is an old school wrestling guy, so he could be.
Who else better than to teach Sami Zayn how to turn his back on one of his best friends than his best friend?
Yeah.
And Jey Uso. You know what I mean? You get Jey Uso at the final, and Sammy says, "Nah, bro. Like, we ain't boys now."
Nah. Saying we ain't boys now. You had the world title. I have never got it. And then here you go. Roll out the man who said it from the beginning, Karrion Kross.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I'm telling you right now, Mike. If Karrion Kross is not part of Mania Vegas 2, I'd be very, very disappointed.
I mean, he probably if he's not a part of Mania Vegas Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, then he's probably not with WWE. Let's be real here. And at that point, I would much rather see Karrion Kross go back to TNA, go to CMLL, AAA, anywhere, AEW, New Japan, whatever. I'd rather see him go anywhere else if they're not going to utilize him, because he's got the crowd literally in the palm of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
His shirts I am a witness to this because I was there Monday. His shirts sell at the arenas. He is one of the 5-6 shirts that they sell. It was John Cena's. It was like 10 shirts in total. It was the John Cena Phoenix exclusive shirt. It was the John Cena reversible shirt. It was the Suns Rhea Ripley exclusive shirt. It was a Rhea Ripley shirt, Jey Uso shirt, the Penta shirt. There's 2 Jey Uso shirts, actually. The Penta shirt, Karrion Kross. Those were the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the same air as a CM Punk, a Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk, of course, had a shirt there. He's in the same air as those names. The Women's World Champion doesn't have a shirt for sale at Raw. So who's over? You know what I mean? Like that, and they're selling. And they're selling.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And he can work.
And he can work.
I would understand, you know what I mean, if we're
he's not a Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes. He's a wrestler. He can wrestle. He's not he's not gonna give you a 5-star match, but he's gonna give you a rock solid psychological match. And I think
he can go at the same speed as like Takeshita.
Yeah. Yeah, he can. He's wrestled good matches against AJ Styles. He's had good matches against Drew. He had matches with Ray that were really solid, and Ray's, a lot faster than him. So like he can go. He's great on the mic, and it's a shame that we're still talking about this. But I agree. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, all the writing is on the wall for that. It's there. Queen of the Ring, Jade, Nia, Michin, Piper. We talked about it earlier. I mean, we don't have to really get too much in depth about it. We know Jade won. We know Alexa won her match. Cargill, Perez next Friday. Alexa versus the winner of Asuka Vacure, or Vacay, as Nikki Bella would say. Rodriguez and Niall. So I'm still, to the beginning of the show, I'm still adamant. It's Alexa versus Asuka, with Roxanne versus Jade, and I think Jade and Alexa are the finals, with Charlotte screwing Alexa over. I think we read that like a book.
Yep, because something just tells me Liv is gonna come out to help Roxanne, which will give Jade her win. Because I think everybody knows Roxanne is just way better in ring than Jade is. So we got to protect Jade. She'll get that protection, and then Charlotte cost her, in the final.
Yeah, it's all lined up. And Triple H is not afraid to run a multiple interferences in these matches. We've seen how many DQ finishes. We've seen how many run-ins over the last couple of years. Like, he's not afraid to go to that well with these kind of stuffs, with these kind of matches. So I think predictable, but it makes sense. Motor City Machine Guns versus the Wyatts tonight, Marcus. The Wyatts in tag team action for the first time since the match against the Final Testament. It was good to see them in action. Tortellini, who was on the Money in the Bank nightcap last Saturday, nailed it. She said the tag team would be Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis. They have good energy together in the ring, but the finish was funky. Did you pick that up?
Yeah, the finish was just weird. Everything about the Wyatts is weird. I feel like they've been gone for too long, and now they're back, and now I don't know. But the finish was funky. Yes.
The finish was funky. The problem with this is that the tag team division had a sense of cohesiveness with the tag teams that were involved. Adding the Wyatts to this has kind of made the tag division feel off a little bit. But the problem with that is that we don't have they haven't told, why do the Wyatts suddenly want tag team gold?
Right. Yeah, and that's just my thing.
Why was there no VHS tape last week or this week at all in the show of Uncle Howdy or Bo saying, we want these because XYZ? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because I have no reason as to why the spooky group who has no rhyme or reason for their actions now suddenly wants to compete in the tag division for titles? Booking. It's not the talent's fault. It's the writing's fault.
Sounds like one of those AEW production meetings. Nobody was there.
That's crazy.
Throw him in the tag team division.
Throw him in the tag team division. Fuck it.
No,
Fuck it. Why not?
That was my thing too. I was like, when everyone's like, "Oh yeah, the Wyatts are coming back," I'm like, "Okay, cool." For me, the Wyatts were stale. What's going on, Jacob? The Wyatts got stale. The injury really put them in a bad spot because we forgot about them, and they, like I said, I love the fact that they're trying to pay homage to Bray. But I truly do stand strong behind this. Is not how Bray would have presented the Wyatt Six. I felt like we would have got it better. I'm not going to say better. It would have been more creepier. It would have mattered because they only matter when they're in vignettes. When they're in the rings, they're just regular wrestlers.
Yeah,
and they lose why they matter. You know what I mean? And they lose that creepiness. And I think that's the whole reason why they don't put Alexa with them right now, because it's like she'll die out if she goes with them right now. Because there's, what are they doing? Like you said, why are they in the tag team division all of a sudden? Like it doesn't make sense. Why, there's just, we need more story, and it needs to be more than, because this is what Bray would have wanted. You know what I mean? I feel like it needs to get more into Uncle Howdy and Bo, and build the story off of that and make it originally off of that. And we need to move on from the Fireflies.
Yeah. I agree. I think there needs to be they need to branch this out a little bit more and flesh it out, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I like the Wyatts. I like all the talent involved. It's just tough to not get reasons for certain things, but we'll see what happens with that. Queen of the Ring tournament: Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Candice LeRae, Alba Fire. We know Alexa's in. We know the feud now. Alexa and Charlotte is chomping at the bit. Any other thoughts on that, Marcus? Or I think we've covered that pretty much.
No, my other thoughts is I actually like Charlotte losing.
Me too.
I like that she is getting this like, am I losing it moment? You know what I mean? Like, are there people better than me? You know what I mean? And I like that, because I think now we're going to see a Charlotte try to strive for a better version of her and give us something that we've all been wanting to see, and it's something better out of her.
Yeah. I mean, I think what I'd love to see is her kind of get influenced by Alexa in this feud and like turn a little dark, like start wearing darker colors and, maybe doing something like that. It'd be a different vibe for her, for sure. And I mean, I think that's kind of what we need.
I think since Tiffany too, I think all the newer women that are getting called up, all these younger women, and like you saw it. I'm not sure if you caught it at like Money in the Bank. Some of the women were scared of Rhea, but Julia stared her down. Like, I'm Julia. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care that you're Rhea Ripley. Like, I'm Julia. Like, I did things across the world. But you get it with like Tiffany. I don't care that you're Charlotte Flair. You know what I mean? Roxanne, I don't care that you're this person. And I like that, because someone needs to remind the four horsewomen and the woman that, helped bring women's wrestling out to the light that it's at. Like, yeah, you guys did great things, but don't think because you did great things that we're just going to be at all because of that. Like, you got to remind us why you're these great people. And I think Charlotte's getting that treatment right
now. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think you're spot on about that. That's a good point. I mean, you do have all these new women. You have all these new faces coming in, and I think it's a good way to kind of give Charlotte some oomph. Overall, I do like this comment from Mark though. Wyatt Six justify their interest in the tag division by referencing the carnage of TLC, saying they want to see which of the teams is the sickest. That'd be just small little things like that make a huge difference. Main event tonight. King of the Ring, Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura, Andrade. On paper, great match. I enjoyed this match. Thought it was solid. The Slim Jim table even snapped right down the middle by God, by Almighty. Make sure you go snap into a Slim Jim at your local retailers now. WWE didn't even pay me for that fucking promo. I did that for free. Cody Rhodes wins. Once again, predictable. Cody Rhodes versus the winner of Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, whoever else is in the men's side of the bracket. It's late. I'm forgetting things. Sorry, guys. And Rusev, Sheamus and Rusev. That's already played out. Rusev and Sheamus are going to brawl each other all around the arena. They're going to take themselves out of the match. It'll become a Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso singles match. Bronson Reed will get a BFT from LA Knight. Jey Uso will hit him with the splash and a spear. 1, 2, 3. Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes. Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton.
Yeah.
The tournament's been very predictable, but I mean, the semifinals could be unpredictable. We could see Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso in the finals. We could see Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes. We could see Randy versus Sami, or Randy versus Cody, Randy versus Jey. So I think that's the factor, is who's going to be the final four is going to be the unpredictable part, but how we got here, very predictable.
Very predictable. Very, very predictable.
Good fatal four ways.
Oh, 100%. And I think we're gonna get two good quarterfinal matches too. Randy Zayn is gonna cook, and Cody Jey is gonna cook too. I would be really surprised if Bronson Reed makes it all out of this, but I doubt it because the winner gets a title shot, right? So
Title shot.
Yeah, so Bronson Reed's already out because of the faction he's in.
Mm-hmm.
So unless that's the story they tell, like he wins and they're going to use his title shot to get the champion tired, and then Seth cashes in. But that's a long way to get there.
It is.
So yeah. So these quarterfinal matchups are going to be good. Cody Jey, Sammy Randy. I think we already agreed on the Sammy Randy. I think you and I agree on how we think that's going to end. The Cody Jey is going to be very interesting.
It's tough because you could make a couple different arguments. Somebody could take out Cody. Maybe John Cena cost Cody. Maybe Logan Paul. I mean, I don't know. They said Logan's hurt, so I don't know about all that. But could do Logan Paul. Could do Travis Scott. As much as I hate saying that,
it's gonna be could do The Rock.
Could do The Rock here.
It's gonna be
Cody,
weird.
Yeah,
that finish is gonna be very weird. That's gonna be a weird finish. How we get to that semifinal.
Yep.
But
because you're gonna have
the story in having Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso, to me, I think is incredible. Like that one-on-one right there, it's like forget a title, forget anything. Like I want to see these two guys go at it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the promos are going to be great.
Yeah,
and we straight from the heart.
Oh yeah.
So
it's going to be a lot of love, a lot of oosy, but now I got to get this title. Oos, I know you had your time. Now it's my time, and it's going to be it's going to get to a point where I think it's going to come full circle with Cross, and I think that's the big thing. It's like I think we've been chomping at the bit. Like when is Cross going to get his time to shine? And I think it's going to be a result of Sammy beating Jey Uso in the final, and Cross literally going up to Sammy and being like, I was right. And then Sammy fucking snapping and just attacking Cross, and then, Cross pulling a psycho move and just laughing at him and them having a match or something. You know what I mean? Like, I could very well see that being the end game of everything, is like the side quest is that we somehow circle back into Cross in this conversation.
Yeah, we need a good Sammy story. It's been a minute. And we need one where he's not the underdog this time. We need one where he's confident in himself and he knows he could do this. And if that's with the help of Karrion Kross, I'm here for it.
So be it. Yeah, so be it.
I'm here for it. 100%.
Absolutely. Man, we've chopped it up. Mouthing off with four sides. It has been quite a time. But that's everything. That's everything I wanted to talk about. Marcus, is there anything else you wanted to talk about here?
No, my God, that was everything. I was happy we could do this. Hopefully we could do it again. Hopefully our schedules line up and we can't come out with an episode on Thursday. And you're just like, I don't know if I really want to do the nightcap. And I'm just like, let's collab. Let's collab. Come out, do this, and just have some fun again. This time we'll monitor Chano a little bit more.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to. We're gonna have to get the child locks for Chano here. So that's for sure. He's gonna have to keep that man in line. Invoices will be in the mail for Chano and his fines. Don't worry.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally fine. Totally fine. Wink, wink. Marcus, I mean, we're on Four Sides of the Ring. We're on Boom Broadcasting. We're on Mouthing Off with Mike. So we're on all of the 3 mega platforms here. So this is a Worlds Collide extravaganza. Tell them where they can follow you, channel, the rest of the Four Sides. Drop the handles. Show some love to the folks.
Yeah, you can follow me at the Founder MH. You can follow all my guys at their socials on NitRam, Four Sides OTR. They all have some weird ones. Chicano. If you really want to look up Brandy Savage, you could probably just look up Brandy Savage. He might pull up. But most of all, importantly, if you've been hanging out with me and Mike for the last hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, drop the like button, hit the follow on the subscribe. We're here. We're doing this. You can follow all of us. You can follow me on I'm sorry, not all of us, but my stuff on Four Sides of the Ring, Four Sides of the Ring podcast on IG, Four Sides OTR on X. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Threads. We're on all the new social media you told us to be on that nobody is now using because everyone just goes back to X, but we're there.
There you go.
I know. You know what I'm talking about, Mike. You know what I'm
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have a Threads, a Blue Sky. I got all these fucking apps, and the only ones I use are Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah, TikTok. So make sure, guys, for real, if you're watching on Four Sides of the Ring right now, subscribe. I know Kenneth subscribed earlier, new subscriber to Four Sides of the Ring. Go subscribe to Four Sides of the Ring. Go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. Subscribe to Mouthing Off with Mike. Follow everyone. Show some love. We're here. We're doing the damn thing. Nobody's making room for us at the table because we're going to make our own fucking room.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're mouthing off with Four Sides of the Ring, baby. We're out of here, folks. Peace. I don't have anything to show you guys to end the show because it's not a nightcap officially. So you just get to leave with my smiling faces, our smiling faces. Bye.